Gopala Astrology channel, where the science meets astrology for common man's understanding. Subscribe and stay tuned to this channel for continued astrological updates. Welcome to Gopala Astrology channel once again for one more interesting video tonight. Okay, it's going to be about a very interesting personality. The whole world is looking on him. It is Vladimir Putin. I'm going to make a modern astrology, outer planet astrology horoscope analysis for Vladimir Putin. What is the reason that he has become so powerful, rising from a very ground level, grassroots level personality to a very high level person like a president, prime minister? He took several roles in last 22 years of active Russian politics. Okay, so we are going to make the analysis of this chart. It's going to be very interesting because we need to know when this war is going to stop and what has provoked Putin to get into this Ukraine war. Okay, so stick on to this video till the end, and it's going to be a very interesting journey to understand the outer planets, especially the Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and other planets like planet X, Y, and Z. All right, friends, let's go to the actual video. So Vladimir Putin, the name itself has become very highly searched word in the Google, in the internet nowadays. The reason is he has created a lot of confusions and chaos in the form of Ukraine attacks. Okay, we need to understand from where he was. He was nowhere. He was from a very simple background. Even his parents' names are not very clear, and the way he rose like a phoenix, right from the grassroots to the very highest level position in Russia. So what made this happen, and what is that planet which is governing this guy to become like this? I'm really not interested in actual world politics, but I'm actually putting this as an educational video for those people who are learning astrology and trying to even interpret the modern astrology concepts to the Indian Vedic astrology system. So we need to really understand which are the planets that can cause certain behavior in people's attitudes, and why they become suddenly rich and why they gain a lot of power. All right, so let's try to put some light on that in this video today. And let's start with his very humble journey, which started way back in 1952. He was born on 7th of October 1952. So we know the name of mother of Vladimir Putin. It is Ivana Putina, Maria Ivana Putina. So please pardon my pronunciation. I may not be very good in pronouncing the Russian names. Okay, so the so-called name of the father has been put up here as Vladimir Spirodivnak Putin. Okay, but there is a lot of story about it. I don't want to go to that root level, but these are some of the pictures that I just took it from the internet for the sake of understanding. But most important from astrological point of view is that he was born on 7th October 1952. I will tell you the year between 1950 to 1952 is very significant from modern astrology point of view. I will tell you why. Okay, let's go on. And this man came from so basic level, and now there's a lot of rumor going on, and there's a lot of messages that goes here and there. I'm not too sure. I just picked few of them, and I understand that he's one of the richest man in the world today. And we do not know this mail online news is very authentic, and this is dated somewhere in March 2022. It says that Putin is the richest man in the world. He has got 200 billion under his belt, and he even exceeds Bill Gates, who is around $80 billion, right? So that's the thing. And now these numbers may not be accurate. Please pardon me if I go wrong anywhere, but definitely we see that he has got a lot of facilities. He has got 58 planes, helicopters, and blah, 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 20 palaces. We do not know what it is, okay, because everything goes secret and underground, and not much information comes out from Russia officially. So let's not speculate, but we just try to hear what it is. It shows that he's a rich man. That's it. Okay, no numbers defined officially. Now, he started his career. Let's see his career growth. I'm just straight away starting off from his presidential active Russian politics point of view. He was a Russian spy for about almost 20 years. I do not want to go to that part of the career. I'm just talking about him being in the number one position in Russia. Okay, in 1999, 31st December, he was put up as an acting president for a short span of time. After that, then he was given the position of president of Russia by Boris Yeltsin, and it was for 4 years. Okay, it was his first presidential term. Then again, he carried on all the way to 2008. 2004 to 2008 was his second presidential term. Then 2008 to 2012, there was certain things that was going on. He put up a new guy as the prime minister, Medvedev. Okay, let's call him as Medvedev. Okay, and then he took on still the role of the president. So there's a lot of power switching here and there, which was not really in the constitution of Russia, I believe. Now, 2012 to 2018, 6 years, he got the third presidential term. So he's dictating the terms. He's defining how many years a president has to stay and stuff like that. Okay, and finally we can say roughly fourth presidential term is going on from 2018 till today. Okay, so that's it. And so he also newly appointed Mikhail Mishustin as another prime minister of Russia. So there's a lot of things that is going on actively from 1999 to 2022. That means 23 years of number one position for Putin. It's not easy. It's not simple for such a big country to control them. It's not easy. It's not possible for an ordinary horoscope. Okay, I'm just talking purely from astrological point of view. I'm not talking anything about politics here. All right. Now, he got married somewhere in early 80s. We do not have the exact date. He got married to Vladimir Putin. Okay, she was known to be a stewardess in the airplane industry, and then the marriage went on for quite some time until recently. That means in the year 2014. It says 2nd April 2014. According to the BBC News, it says that Russian President Vladimir Putin divorces his wife. Okay, so almost 30 years of marriage came to a standstill, and it is believed at least he has two daughters in their late 20s at that time. Okay, so they may be in 30s now. So that's all. So he had a marriage, it went into a divorce, and apart from this, not much of personal information we have this other than some pictures here and there. He says he is a very active man, and he always regularly exercise, he swims, he has a beautiful dog, he likes horse riding and stuff like that. So he's an active man even though he is quite old. All right, now let's come back to the topic of astrology. This is the traditional Vedic chart for him. If we assume this date of birth is correct, it comes to the ascendant of Libra. So the first analysis let's try to make classically. So the lord of the first house, Libra, is Venus, and the first lord in the first house, and that Venus, it forms a Malavya Yoga. So Malavya Yoga makes the person very, very patriotic about his country, and he is very, very powerful in the motherland that he is born. All right, that is the first thing. The second thing that we need to see is the presence of Mars in a very fiery zodiac sign of Sagittarius. So Mars is placed in the third house of courage, valor, hard work, efforts, everything. So this makes Putin very, very brave personality who can take any type of risks on masses. The seventh lord, remember Aries is the seventh house. The lord of that seventh house goes to the third house of courage and hard work and communication also. So everything related to the third house is bravery, then courage, and also craziness in terms of doing things, getting things done from the people. So this is the dictator whom we can see very clearly. All right. So the fourth house of Rahu. Fourth house represents motherland, mother. Of course, there was a lot of problem with his mother. I mean, I don't think he stayed and he grew up with his mother. He was actually given to the grandparents to take care of him in the early part of the life. And many things can be told about fourth house Rahu. Okay, so, but fourth house represents our heart also, mother, everything, motherland, and Rahu is present in the fourth house. That shows that he's reckless personality. He's very, very reckless. His heart is, he's having a demonic energy of Rahu, so he can do anything for you when he is provoked. All right. So now let's study the position of Jupiter there. Jupiter and Mars, they have exchanged their houses. That means the third house, Jupiter, goes to the seventh house, Mars, and seventh lord goes to the third house. What does it tell us? Seventh house represents the masses, public, and even the wife, relationship, partner, everything comes under the jurisdiction of seventh house. So since Jupiter, and remember, this is a Vakri Guru, or the Jupiter is retrograde. So, okay, so when Jupiter goes retrograde and it is aspected by the very opposite natured Venus, it will also result in divorces and separation of marriage. Okay, so it is possible because Jupiter is like a Deva Guru and Venus is the Daitya Guru. So though both of them do not agree each other all the times, even though they are Shubha Grahas, so there will be a conflict that happens between Putin and his wife, and that's how it resulted probably in the divorce of his marriage. All right, and again, look into the bigger picture here, because he's not an ordinary man. He is the president of Russia. So we have to see the masses. Seventh house represents others. So where are others? The others are all put into third house. That means the seventh house energy comes to the third house, and that is a very reckless planet. So he's a very reckless guy. He's very goal oriented. He's like a very much like a Hitlerian type of an attitude here, and that's what he puts the seventh house, the people into it, and then he puts his bravery on the people. Okay, so let's see the moon then. Okay, I will come back to the Jupiter position a little later, but look into the moon. The moon is the lord of the 10th house. Okay, traditionally, the 10th lord goes to the 8th house. Okay, 8th house is all about secret. That means 10th house represents karmasthanam, or the work that we do. The lord of the work goes to the 8th house of secrecy. That's the reason probably he was, for about 10 to 15 years, he was working as a spy. Who is a spy? Spy is the one who goes underground. You do not know what he's doing. It's all about secret. So if you see the 8th house moon, most of the things that we do not know about Putin, right? So this is all explained by 8th house moon there. So everything is secret. 8th house is all hidden below the ground. Nobody knows until we dig it. All right. So that is the significance of moon in the 8th house. And of course, he looks very brilliant and magnanimous personality, because moon is in Rohini Nakshatra and it gets exalted there. So moon is getting exalted in the secret house of Taurus. All right. So that's the point. And he is also looking very diplomatic and handsome, because he has got Libra ascendant, and beautiful Venus is there as a owner of the first house in the first lord in the first house. So that's the personality. That's why you can see that he is always willing to talk to people, and he's trying to convince them in his way. All right. So that's it. He's a calm guy unless he's provoked, like what happened with Ukraine, right? So that's the thing. Now the lord of 10th. Okay, let's talk about Pluto a little later in the modern astrology concept. I'll keep it reserved for that, because Pluto is extremely powerful in his chart. Basically, it is not in the Cancer. This is wrong. It is actually in Leo. It has already entered Leo. Okay, so now Ketu. So Ketu is all about the past life. Karma is related to Ketu, and Ketu goes to the 10th house of emotions. Okay, Cancer ascendant, Cancer zodiac sign is all about the sensitiveness of the people and affections of the people and all that. But Ketu is there, so he plays with the emotions of the people. He don't care. Okay, so he's reckless, and this is the presence of Rahu in the fourth house and Ketu in the 10th house of Cancer gives us a very clear picture, right? So he is always into, putting his views always first, and he like to take control of the situation himself. He doesn't believe in democracy. All right, now very interesting. See what is happening on his 12th house, friends. 12th house is all having many planets. It has Neptune, Sun, Mercury, and Saturn. Let's just see Saturn here. So fourth lord goes into the 12th house. What does it tell you? It tells you that this man has to get out of Russia, of the motherland, and live in some other foreign land. If not, if he continues to stay there in the motherland, he is going to bring losses to the motherland. Okay, eventually at the end of the day, whatever wars he may have and things like that, he may bring losses to the motherland. So fourth lord goes to the 12th house. So Saturn is not going to do well in the 12th house. And Surya, Sun, the lord of 11th house, right? That's why the father's identity, Sun also represents father, the identity of the father and the value addition by the father to Putin is not clear, right? So Sun becomes useless here in the 12th house. He always likes to spend things in a luxurious way, because fourth house Rahu also makes him to go behind luxury. He always wants luxury. He wants the best of the cars. He wants the best of the gold. Everything that comes to him must be the best one. So that's what it is. And he spends a lot of money. He's a spendthrift guy, And then one more scenario here is that the Mercury, which is the lord of 9th house, Mercury rules Gemini. The 9th house lord goes to the 12th house. So eventually, the 9th house represents Bhagyam, whereas the person is going to put that everything into loss. There is a connection between the 9th house and 12th house. He's supposed to stay out of Russia, but because the Venus is very strong in the first house, he will stay in Russia alone and he will not migrate to any foreign country, and that is where he brings losses. The loss of the Mercury being the 9th lord coming into the 12th house shows that his luck will get depleted over the period of time, and he will pay for all his karmic deeds that he is doing right now. Okay, so from the classical astrology point of view, we can just say we can say that he's a magnanimous personality with a lot of power monging. He is a very power monger in his nature, right? Reckless and a very brave personality. Now, looking into the dashas and antardashas, what he is going through. Of course, please don't get carried away with the Mercury here. Mercury and ascendant is quite wrong, because in different softwares, when you put the timings, it shows differently. Please note that the ascendant is still Libra and Mercury is just here. Okay, it is there in Virgo. Now, he is currently going through the Mahadasha of Shani, Saturn, Antardasha of Jupiter. So keep this in mind, and then we will go into the modern astrological concept introduced by Greenstone Lobo. He has put 25 years of his research work to get into the outer planets and also the three centaurs, what he discovered himself. And when you apply them properly, it gives a lot of meaning. So he's the one who has come out with 12 planets and 12 zodiac signs right there. Okay, so just take note of this very important definition of Pluto eagle. So the Pluto is in the eagle avatar. I will tell you what is eagle avatar. So the exaltation point of Pluto is Leo. So it gets exalted, deepest exaltation. Okay, so it is between 1950 and 1952. Pluto was between 0 degree, the nascent Pluto it is called, and then up to the 2 degrees of Leo. So but that means 1950 to 1952, the Pluto was right there. So these are all according to the sidereal system of astrology. Please, if you are a Western follower, you may get confused. Please do not get confused. We are following here the very classical sidereal system of astrology with the geocentric system with the Earth at the center. Okay, always our point of observation is Earth in the in our Vedic astrology system. All right, so when you consider that and you understand that Pluto is extremely powerful when it is between 1950 and 1952. That is why between these 2 years, many huge personalities are born. Like Narendra Modi is born, Bill Gates is born, so on and so forth. If you know about the South Indian actor Rajinikanth, he is born in 1950. So the people who are not even known suddenly rise out and become very big magnanimous personalities, and these are all like eagles, right? What does the eagle do? It doesn't bother. When it is raining, it just goes above the cloud and stands there. I mean, it flies there, so it doesn't bother what is happening in the lower level. They always go. Like Narendra Modi, he doesn't have to worry about small competitors. He has a big job to do for India. So despite many people fighting him, he doesn't bother. He keeps doing his job, going very high level, right? So with that background, let's put Putin's horoscope here. So this is what is the main topic that I want to discuss today. All right, so let's try to understand. He's born at 10 degrees roughly, Libra ascendant. Okay, Sun and all we have analyzed, but important thing I want to talk about is Pluto. Pluto is just around 1 degree of Leo. It has just entered the exaltation point. It is also called nascent Pluto. So the Pluto becomes extremely powerful. And what is Pluto here? If you see the definitions of the planets, I have given it in the words, the very words that is given by Mr. Green Stone Lobo. I'm a very strict follower of him. He's a fascinating personality. Okay, he has given this. Uranus should be taken as Brahma, the creator. Neptune is the Vishnu, the Mayavi, and then the Pluto is the Mahesh or the Shiv, Lord Shiv himself. He's there for constructive destructions. Okay, the Pluto is the main planet which causes constructive destruction. It takes about 250 years to complete one circle around one round or one revolution around Sun. So it brings always a lot of revolutionary things happening. So once every 250 years, we have people like Putin, people like Narendra Modi, people like Bill Gates, even Steve Jobs are born once in 250 years. So whenever they are born, they transform this world, and their history will last for 250 years, right? So that's the reason that I have taken this chart and trying to analyze it for you guys. Planet XYZ. Planet X is Kubera, who is the actual cash giver. Okay, the stock market runs through Planet X. Okay, it's a centaur. It is found in the way back into the Kuiper belt. The Kuiper belt is the one which is formed as a debris of solar system. Okay, so they are the bigger type of stones, not like asteroid belt have got smaller variety of stones which do not really impact human beings, but these centaurs which are there in the Kuiper belt really impact us. Okay, so planet X is Kubera, planet Y is Vishwakarma. So Vishwakarma means this is the one which we repeatedly do the things day in and day out. We always have this routine work that we follow, and that represents Vishwakarma. Okay, and planet Z is Manmata, or the one whom we get attracted to. That means there is something in us which gets attracted by others and make us famous, and that is what is planet Z. So with this little background, let's analyze what are the outer planets doing in Putin's horoscope. So Putin has got the planet-wide debilitated, the 12th lord, the Lord of losses has come to his lagna. So that means he has got a very destructive mind, and he is not a very constructive person in many other senses. Okay, please understand the color coded chart here given by Mr. Greenstone Lobo is very, very clear. Red is debilitation, green is exaltation, multiple exaltation do exists, okay, and then the black ones are neutral. They are neither bad, neither good, but it can always be made good by wearing certain gemstones and things like that. Okay, so now planet Y is in Lagna, the 12th lord comes to Lagna. So, which is very clear that he has day in and day out certain job to do, that is thinking of how to provoke things, okay, and make his country powerful. He has an illusion that he has to put back Russia to the USSR condition and make it very powerful country in the world, and that's what he keeps thinking. All the world comes to him. That's what is his illusion. So let's go to the next one. Planet X. He is extremely rich because planet X, it rules. It is ruling Taurus, and it stays in 8th house. Everything is hidden again. Nobody knows about his assets, what it is. We don't have fixed numbers. We always have some hearsay here and there. And internally, he may be an extremely rich guy because planet X Kubera is there in his 8th house. Okay, along with the moon. Okay, that's why he is very rich personality, and he became rich in the later stages. That means the first half of the life, the first 30 years was not he was not rich. Okay, now planet Z is Manmata, or the one which gives us name and fame. Let us see where is planet Z for him. Planet Z, it shows it is green. It is there in the 4th house. So planet Z rules 11th house of 11th house of gains. Okay, Leo, and it is placed in his horoscope in the 4th house. So this also makes him a famous personality in his motherland. Okay, so he becomes famous, and he gets name and fame in his own country. Okay, it may be for many other reasons. Many people may be hating him now after this war. I'm talking about previous condition. So definitely planet Z has made him famous. He may be famous for a war now, but definitely he has become famous. All right. So 22 years in the power is not easy. So now Pluto. So Pluto is there in his 11th house of gains, and it's a very powerful Pluto. It is the lord of the second house placed in the 11th house. It's forming a Lakshmi Yoga. So everything is going for his gains in this birth, and he's going to beat all his competition. And Pluto placed in this has made him the world leader. Okay, so he's going to make a big difference to the world, and he may pay off for his bad karmas. That is another part of the story, but everybody knows Putin. That's the level that Pluto is going to bring him up. Okay, so 11th house, second lord in the 11th house again shows that he may have huge amount of money under his belt. Okay, now Neptune. Let's talk about Neptune, which is the Mayavi Vishnu himself, right? So if you talk about Neptune, it rules his 6th house, and it has gone and is placed in the 12th house. So 6th, he always destroys his competitors. Okay, so whoever raises voice, they will be silenced. And that kind of a situation you can see. So everything in the 12th house is red for Putin. Okay, 4th house, Saturn is also debilitated in 12th house. So whatever you see, the red color is considered to be as debilitated. I'm not saying the Mercury is debilitated, but it says it's a fall for according to Mr. Green Stone Lobo. Okay, so these 4 planets, the dignity of these 4 planets shows that it is red in color. It doesn't do much good for his horoscope. All right. So in general, what we can say is out of the let's talk about Uranus. Uranus is the lord of his 5th house, Aquarius. Okay. So lord of the 5th house is placed in another luck house. So we keep seeing that he is very lucky. He gets rid of many things, and it doesn't come into the limelight. All that luck is seen through Uranus. Okay, so Uranus is something which is taboo in the society. It is something creative, right? He will do something differently than what other people think of in a normal situation. So he will have luck of Uranus. So Uranus is green, Pluto is green, Neptune is red for him. So overall speaking, that about his horoscope, he has outer planets in more or less everything is green except Neptune. So that is what is his personality, and that is why a very ordinary boy born in a very small village becomes such a famous personality, and he will stay in the power for more than 22 years in the number one position in a country, and the two, it's the world's largest country, okay, in terms of area. All right, so that's how. And now let's get into the actual Vimshottari Dasha and what is happening from the war point of view. Okay, so let's see the horoscope of Putin in terms of Vimshottari Dashas, at what time the war was started for him. So it is Saturn Mahadasha, okay, which is going on from 2003. It normally lasts for 19 years. It is coming to the fag end of his Saturn Mahadasha, which has made him very, very powerful. Okay, and now it is the Antardasha of Jupiter. Okay, so now Pratyantara Dasha is, it could be either between Sun or Moon. So depending, it's the accuracy of the time of birth, 9:30. We are not very sure. It is put in the internet. I've just taken it. It may be either Sun or the Moon. So what do we understand? Saturn, Jupiter, and let us take, for example, the war started on 24th of February. All right. So if you see this situation, 4th of January to 2022 up to 18th of February, he was running under Sun the Pratyantara Dasha. Okay, and then Moon has taken over, and then it is here. So what does these two planets tell us? So Saturn already is the fourth lord in the 12th house. Okay, so he is going to take the motherland into the position of losses eventually because of Saturn Mahadasha. And then Jupiter is retrograde in his horoscope, and it is the lord of the third house going to the Mars's seventh house. Okay, so that is also not a good thing for him to remain calm. This is also provoking the war mind in him, war things in his mind. Okay, and then Pratyantara Dasha of Moon has started. So he secretly decided finally. So already the plot was going on from January 2022 about his plans for attacking Ukraine. But actual activity happened in the Pratyantara Dasha of Moon. The Moon is all about 8th house, killing other people. This is killing innocent people is very, very bad. And he has accumulated a lot of bad karmas in this Pratyantara Dasha of Moon. So perhaps 6th of May 2022, if the time is accurate, depending on plus minus, you can put 1 month, everything comes to standstill about the war. Okay, and then previously in my videos about Jupiter transit, I had very clearly told that Jupiter takes over into the Pisces zodiac sign on the 13th of April. So that means 1 month from now, we will see that this ceasefire happens on this war, and there should be a lot of external factors to come to mitigation, and they will try to stop the war completely. Okay, so let's hope for the best. And according to him, he is going to last. And then there is some chaos here in his own chart. Mars Pratyantara Dasha may take over, but overall, he's finishing Saturn Mahadasha itself, and Mercury Mahadasha is going to start for him. That means we always say karma is like a rubber band. How much you stretch, it is fine, but at the end of the day, it will break and smack your face. That is what is going to happen to Putin. Okay, so he will suffer the bad karma of the war during Mercury Mahadasha. So why Mercury Mahadasha? Because the Mercury is the lord of the ninth house, Bhagyam, for him, the luck. It has come to the 12th house of losses. So there is going to be a loss of his luck, and then he will get hit back by the rubber band of bad karma. All right, so the guesswork that I am making here, looking into the Mercury Antardasha and Mars Antardasha, right? So this is Mercury, which is going to rule for him from 2022 to 2039. So in between, Mars is going to come, and then there will be Saturn Mahadasha here. So in the year 2031, last quarter of 2031, it's very likely that he may have almost a near-death experience. He may have some serious illnesses that may be provoking in his body. I will tell you why. And then one more evidence that I tried to gather from the internet is his palmistry lines. Look at his lines, my friends. Look at his hand. Okay, if you look at the forefinger, which shows the determination and power seeking ability, so this finger is almost equal, or even it is higher than the ring finger. Okay, so Apollo finger is shorter than the forefinger. So he's a power monger. He wants the power. He wants to stay in the power. Look at his lifeline, how clearly it is defined. It is very clearly defined. He has got two fate lines. He creates his own fate. And look at this line. It is going all the way, very powerful. That's what a black arrow shows, strong fate line, and hence very rich in the second part of the life. Okay, and then one more thing I have put here is the green arrow. So the green arrow shows there is an island at the end of the lifeline. That means he's going to have difficulties in his old age. The prediction is already given here in this slide, around 2031. So 2030, 2031 is going to be very crucial for him, and we see a big island. He's going to die with some serious illnesses, and he's going to pay back for his bad karma. He has hurt many, many innocent people, old women, young children, old women, old people, and hospitals are bombed by him. It's the worst of the things. Nobody should do such a bad thing for people, for the masses. So he has done it. There is a lot of ego there under him, and one day he will pay for his bad karma. Okay, I don't want to stretch more. Let's stop it here. I have come to the end of this video. If you have any questions, please type it in the comment section. Whenever I have free time, I'm going to really reply to you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.